Hello, this is Miss Samuels. Today we are going to practice multiplying fractions, fractions by whole numbers, fractions by mixed numbers, and learn how to multiply mixed numbers by mixed numbers. First, we are going to begin by multiplying a whole number by a fraction. So, in order to multiply a whole number by a fraction, we take our whole number and we multiply it by the numerator, and we keep our denominator the same. So we end up with 9/4. This is an improper fraction. So either we can set up our long division, 9 divided by 4. 4 goes into 9 2 times. 2 times 4 is 8. We subtract and get a remainder of 1. So our answer becomes 2 and 1/4. We can also say 4 goes into 9 2 times with 1 left over, so our answer is 2 and 1/4. For 5 times 2/3, 5 times 2 is 10. We keep our denominator the same. 3 goes into 10 3 times with 1/3 left over. 2 times 3/4. 2 times 3 is 6. We keep our denominator the same. You can also think that 2 wholes is equivalent to 2 over 1. This is because 2 divided by 1 equals 2. So you could put it over 1 to help you multiply across as well. Then 4 goes into 6 one time with 2/4 left over. To simplify or reduce, this is equal to 1 1/2. 6 times 2/3, 6 times 2 is 12. Keep our denominator the same. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So our answer would just be 4 wholes. Now we are going to multiply a fraction by a fraction. This is the easiest of the fraction operations because you do not need a common denominator. Instead, you can just multiply across. 3 times 3 is 9. 5 times 4 is 20. Your answer is 9/20, and that's in its simplest form, so you're done. For this problem here, 3 times 2 is 6. 8 times 3 is 24. We do want to simplify this. I noticed here, both of these numbers are even, so that could tell me 2 is a factor, but I also know I can multiply or divide our numerator and denominator by the same number, and I see that 6 is a factor of 6 and of 24, so my answer ends up being 1/4. 6/24 is an acceptable answer, but 1/4 would be the reduced or simplified fraction. Now, if we are going to multiply a whole number by a mixed number, the first step you're going to do is you are going to change or convert this mixed number into an improper fraction by doing MAD. Multiply, add, denominator the same. To make a mixed number improper, you make that number MAD. You multiply. 3 times 2 is 6. You add the numerator, which is 8, and you keep your denominator the same. 2 and 2/3 is equivalent to 8/3. Now you can multiply this by 2. So 2 times 8 is 16 thirds, and that equals 5 and 1/3. For this problem, first I like to draw my arrow that reminds me any mixed number to convert it to an improper fraction. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1 is 5/4. And feel free to review my video on how to convert between a mixed number and an improper fraction, and that goes into more detail on what I'm doing here. Now, 5 times 5 is 25. Keep your denominator the same, and we end up with 6 and 1/4. 4 times 1 1/2, convert this to an improper fraction. 4 times 3/2 is equivalent to 12 halves. 12 divided by 2 is just plainly 6. Here's 4 more examples. Feel free to pause this video and solve them on your own and then come back to check for answers. I'm going to continue solving them as well. So first, any mixed number, you want to convert it into an improper fraction. This equals 16 thirds. We need to multiply that by 2. I know that 2 times 16 is 32, but you might need to set up your long division. Even though our whole number is second, it's still whole number times the numerator. Keep the denominator the same. Three goes into 14 4 times with 2/3 left over. So notice for each problem, first I'm drawing my arrow by my mixed number. That just reminds me that I need to convert that into an improper fraction first. Then I multiply, and then I do my division. Now we have some fractions times different mixed numbers and mixed numbers by mixed numbers. So the first thing you need to do for any mixed number, draw your arrow, convert it to an improper fraction. Then copy down your multiplication symbol and copy down the other fraction or whole number. This problem ends up being not so bad because we can just multiply across. 3 times 7 is 21. 4 times 3 is 12. We do need to make this into a mixed number. 12 goes into 21 one time with 9/12 left over. You could divide both the numerator here and denominator by 3 to simplify this fraction to equal 1 3/4. Let's do this problem down here. Again, draw your arrow. Convert your mixed number into an improper fraction. Copy down everything else and multiply across. 3 times 3 is 9, 2 times 5 is 10, and this is already an improper fraction, so we're done. Now let's take a look. I will switch my pen color. Here I have 2 mixed numbers, so you need to draw an arrow beneath both and convert both into improper fractions. So we have 3/2 and 4/3, which equals 12. 6/6, which equals 2. And then finally, for this last problem, draw arrows beneath both. Convert both to improper fractions by doing that. Again, you can review my other video on converting improper fractions to mixed numbers and mixed numbers to improper fractions. Three times 7 is 21. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 goes into 21 3 times because 3 times 6 is 18. 19, 20, 21, and then 3 3/6 is equivalent to 3.5. Feel free to rewatch this video and pause as you solve each problem on your own. Goodbye.